Also, honestly, it might be better that it crashed like that, since now you'll be able to catch the opening.
Ruin has come to our family. You remember our venerable house? Opulent and imperial, gazing proudly from its stoic perch above the moor. I lived all my years in that ancient, rumor-shadowed manor, fattened by decadence and luxury. And yet I began to tire of conventional extravagance. Singular, unsettling tales suggested the mansion itself was a gateway to some fabulous and unnameable power. With relic and ritual, I bent every effort towards the excavation and recovery of those long-buried secrets, exhausting what remained of our family fortune on swarthy workmen and sturdy shovels. At last, in the salt-soaked crags beneath the lowest foundations, we unearthed that damnable portal of antediluvian evil. Our every step unsettled the ancient earth. But we were in a realm of death and madness. In the end, I alone fled laughing and wailing through those blackened arcades of antiquity, until consciousness failed me. You remember our venerable house, opulent and imperial. It is a festering abomination. I beg you, return home, claim your birthright, and deliver our family from the ravenous, clutching shadows of the darkest dungeon.
Local man ruins everything, that's the whole story. Also, you miss it because it's a stream died, but I survived.
Welcome home, such as it is. This squalid hamlet, these corrupted lands, they are yours now, and you are bound to them.
So, welcome to the hamlet.
Women and men, soldiers and outlaws, fools and corpses. All will find their way to us now that the road is clear.
Here we have the stage codes where you get new recruits. Considering how much people die in this, you'll need them. I'll explain which each one does along the way. But to put it simply, we got our tank, our damage dealer, our healer, and our DOT person.
Trinkets and charms, gathered from all the forgotten corners of the earth.
Here we have where we get trinkets. It's my advice to never buy the common ones, since you'll be getting those all the time in dungeons.
Most will end up here, covered in the poisoned earth, awaiting merciful oblivion.
Here's where you view your dead heroes to reflect upon your shame.
In time, you will know the tragic extent of my failings.
And here's a review. Any of the cutscenes for any of the dialogue. But enough of that. Let's embark.
A mecca of madness and morbidity. Your work begins.
So composition is very important in this, like the order you put your heroes. Like this little indicator is what shows what positions they can attack from. Like she can't do anything in the front, but can do everything in the back. And this over here shows what she targets. You'll know what the other buildings do soon enough.
The cost of preparedness, measured now in gold, later in blood.
As far as I know, the first dungeon is always the same. Then everything else is randomized. These guys in no space get me. You don't have to worry about that. Usually kill them first just because they're such low health.
Their formation is broken. Maintain the offensive. A singular strike.
And there we go.
These nightmarish creatures can be felled. They can be beaten.
Now to explain all the stuff is that these keep the area lit up. The more light you have, the less likely you're going to be ambushed. And keep stress down. Less light means you crit more, which is good, but you'll gain more stress. Stress is basically a second health bar. When it reaches 100, you'll gain a debuff.
Even the cold stone seems bent on preventing passage.
And that's why I always bring shovels. Next bit of advice. There's a lot of different types of enemies in this, including stress. Enemies who focus entirely on dealing stress. And this is one of them. So when you see these guys, always kill them first.
blood pumps, the limbs obey.
Here's the thing about DOTs that's super important. See, she has 3 health, but it's taking 4 damage a turn. DOTs always activate at the start of their turn, so I can safely ignore her now. She's gonna die immediately once her turn starts. So let's kill these guys. Skeletons.
A death by inches. Press this advantage. Give them no quarter. A trifling victory, but a victory nonetheless.
As you can see, that was, what are they called? A negative quirk. He has kleptomaniac and hylomania, which means he's gonna occasionally just interact with stuff without my permission. But he's also a warrior of light, which means he does 10% more damage if the torch is above 75. And a Final Fantasy protagonist, I guess. There we go. Move you back over here.
The slow death. Unforeseen. Unforgiving. Grievous injury. Palpable fear. Great is the weapon that cuts on its own.
Stunning can be very important, since it basically means they skip their next turn.
As the fiend falls, a faint hope blossoms.
We'll explain what the blood is later. I'm sure it's nothing. Different items interact with stuff in different ways, so feel free to experiment, but just know that if it does nothing, you'll be wasting that item. And if you get shuffled, make sure you put everybody back in order.
Ancient traps lie in wait, unsprung and thirsting for blood.
If you're wondering, Highwayman is probably my favorite of the heroes. Maybe Bounty Hunter. Both of them I relate to.
Mind that such missteps are the exception, and not the rule.
Also, you guys stop walking into traps. spots on here. Like I'm gonna try to kill these two guys first, so this guy gets pushed to the front, or he can't do anything. That is Big M. The
Slowly, gently. This is how a life is taken.
And there we go. That's all he can do now.
Confidence surges as the enemy crumbles. Executed with impunity. This expedition at least promises success.
Wow, thanks. 125 gold.
The light, the promise of safety.
Glittering gold, trinkets and baubles. Paid for in blood.
And that's what food does. You cannot eat too much between rooms, though. And especially when this is a thing. How's that for the audio? Sometimes it's better to leave and come. Sometimes it's better to leave because, like, the later dungeon will be more difficult because you'll get nothing if you all die. But that's coward talk. We're gonna explore this whole dungeon.
Impressive.
Also, these guys are assholes. These little bone nobles are the worst. Kill them as soon as you see them. They will deal so much stress damage. Also, This guy's not too big of an issue, he's just a big tank. So kill everybody else usually because they aren't as sturdy and don't take as long to kill.
Such a terrible assault cannot be left unanswered.
Well, time for a virtue check. So this is what happens when your stress gets too high.
Fear and frailty finally claim their due.
Well, these two are both dead, so don't have to worry too much. Looking good, looking good. Now all his friends are gonna die. We can all team up on it.
Compassion is a rarity in the fevered pitch of battle. Continue the onslaught. Destroy them all.
Oh no, surprise, zombies are multiple.
Destroyed. Success so clearly in view. Or is it merely a trick of the light?
And there we go, that's the first dungeon. That sucks. These are all negative quirks that I don't want. It's alright. It's alright.
The tents are pitched, banners fly, and the corpse wagons stand at the ready. The circus has come to town.
Here we have the second part of the game, which is all about managing your hamlet. These two places in particular are for lowering your people's stress levels.
The cobwebs have been dusted, the pews set straight. The abbey calls to the faithful.
And it's where a lot of your gold is going to be going. Here's another suggestion: is never do stress relief on people who are below 50% stress, because that's a waste of money. Don't do it. Mental health, what's that? But obviously I'm going to put her there. It's mostly because I didn't realize this until recently, that your heroes passively heal stress, like 5 a week. So you don't have to focus on that if they're super low.
Fresh kegs, cards, and curtained rooms promise solace to the weary and broken alike.
those with a keen eye, gold gleams like a dagger's point. More arrive, foolishly seeking fortune and glory in this domain of the damned.
Let's say one more game. That all looks good, I think. This is usually what I always bring to the medium-length dungeons. Can change. Sometimes you'll bring too much, sometimes you'll bring too little. But that's the fun of it all. Also never do short missions. They're not rewarding. After all, how am I gonna build my little Lovecraftian town with a few scraps I get out of a short dungeon? Can't do that.
The fiends must be driven back. And what better place to begin than the seat of our noble line?
The Lamb Corporation actually owns this place, believe it or not. Also, we're not interacting with that. No. We're not touching that. No. No. These guys are not too big of a threat, honestly. They're super weak, but they can lay down debuffs. Really only worry about them is if they're with friends.
The death by inches.
Confidence surges as the enemy crumbles.
It's only one damage, you big baby. There's no real bet on there, so I don't gotta go up there. Damn it.
As the fiend falls, a faint hope blossoms. formation is broken. Maintain the offensive.
And here we have a leper's gimmicks that he hits like a truck, but it doesn't have
Great is
much
the weapon
accuracy.
that cuts on its own.
He's also kind of my least favorite just because he has no moves that support the party. He's just all frontline damage. Yeah, that might be controversial to not like him, but whatever.
Press this advantage. Give them no quarter.
And there's no enemies here who deal blight. Ow.
Be gone, fiend. Another abomination cleansed from our lands.
And he's dead. And we saw an arrow wing over here. Destroy this corpse, bring it forward.
Continue the onslaught. Destroy them all.
And inventory management is a big part.
A fortune waiting to be spent.
She didn't get anything from that, what? Alright. Not complaining.
Executed with impunity.
This is gonna be bad.
Remind yourself that overconfidence is a slow and insidious killer.
Oh, it's made out of arms only.
A spark without kindling is a goal without hope.
Here we have camping. It's basically where you stop and rest in the dungeon. It's where you can heal up, heal stress, heal health, or give everybody buffs from their camping skills. Like this one here prevents you from being ambushed at night and makes it so you have a high chance to surprise the enemy. Which is where you all go first in the first turn.
As the light gains purchase, spirits are lifted, and purpose is made clear. Even the cold stone seems bent on preventing passage. Back to the pit.
Thank you, Dismas.
Slowly, gently. This is how a life is taken.
Yeah, I'm not really taking my own advice by saying to leave them alone, but whatever. Saw the opportunity, I took it.
As victories mount, so too will resistance. A handsome reward for a task well performed.
Nice, that's good. Let's see if you have better luck with books, and you don't.
Finding the stuff is only the first test. Now it must be carried home.
Nothing in here inflicts blight, so don't gotta worry about that.
Another one falls. Dazed, reeling, about to break.
So, important thing to keep in mind is that being reduced to 0 health doesn't kill you. It just leaves them in this death door state. And any small amount of healing will keep them from dying.
Denied. For now.
And while they're at death's door, any hit has a percentage chance to kill them. When they're dead, they're dead.
As life ebbs, terrible vistas of emptiness reveal themselves.
Don't go dying on me now. You're very useful.
Be wary. Triumphant pride precipitates a dizzying fall.
And nothing to be had over there. Let's get it.
More moans return to rest. Devils remanded to their abyss. Though long years may seek to separate them, action and consequence will invariably have their dreadful reunion.
Anyways, I'm gonna call it here. Had a small little stream. I think I need more practice with this kind of thing. Getting into character. But thanks for the 5 or so of you who checked in. Oh, and here's where we upgrade our weapons and skills. Very important. Might do grinding off stream. Just gotta get ready for the courtyard, all that. But thanks for checking in.